Okay. Hi guys, good afternoon. Let's get started on the second module of our lecture. Today will be for continuing our discussion on hardened concrete. Before, before we move any further, let us take a quick recap of what we discussed in the previous class. One thing what we discussed was said compressive strength is one of the important parameters in a concrete. Whenever we talk about a concrete, we basically talk about compressive strength. And we talked about a relation between the compressive strength and water cement ratio, so which is governed by Abram's law. We said that compressive strength can be found by using this relation A by B for X. That means compressive strength is inversely proportional to water cement ratio. It is X value. X is nothing but water cement ratio. Then we said A and B are the constants, those are standard values at 28 days each. So that's how we can find out excuse me, compressive strength of concrete if you know the water cement ratio.
I have doubts.
Okay. And then we said that relation between compressive strength and water cement ratio, we discussed about it. There's a inverse proportion. We saw that relation. Then we talked about gel space ratio, and we discussed about relation between the compressive strength and gel space ratio. The more gel space ratio, the more will be the compressive strength, because we said when more gel is available, that means more of CHS gel is available, then that contributes to the strength. That's why when you have more of gel space ratio, you have more of compressive strength. Then we discussed how to compute compressive strength if you know the gel space ratio. We said that relation is 240 times x cubed. X is nothing but gel space ratio. And we also discussed about empirical equations to find out x value based on the weight of the cement and weight of the water. Again, we have two cases. We had two cases. One is for complete hydration, and if you have any percentage of hydration, we can still find out the gel space ratio, and from that we can find out the compressive strength. That's what we discussed. And yesterday, one more topic what we discussed was the relation between 7 days and 28 days strength of concrete. That means if you know strength of concrete at 7 days, we can find out strength of the concrete at 28 days also. That's how we found. Okay. Now in this class, what we do is, so this class will be talking about, just a moment guys. Okay. In this class, let us make people continue to join. Okay. Okay, in this class, these are our learning outcomes. In the sense, if you, by end of this module, you'll be in a position to explain what the accelerated curing test means. So we'll talk about a little more about accelerated curing test. And you'll be in a position to summarize the maturity concept of concrete. So what is the maturity of concept of concrete? Then you'll be in a position to apply mathematical equations to compute the maturity of the concrete, and frame there you will be in a position to compute compressive strength of concrete. In addition, you will be in a position to list various factors that affect the strength of the concrete. So these are the 4 tasks you will be successfully able to do once you completely follow this module. Okay, let's start our today's topic. One is accelerated curing test. So this is basically important. If you connect it to our previous module, what we said was, if you know 7 days strength, you can easily find out the strength of the concrete at 28 days. That means we should know strength of the concrete at 7 days to find out the strength of the concrete at 28 days. But then guys, usually, right, when you do the concrete mix in the site, so we should know, I mean, we'll always be eager to know what will be the likely strength of the concrete, because we add all ingredients, you prepare a concrete, and you want to see what would be the likely strength. So usually, right, when you want to find out the compressive strength of concrete, we usually do it at age of 28 days. That means we take a concrete, we prepare a cube, okay, then you test it in the lab after 28 days. So the problem with that is, okay, if you know the strength of the concrete after 28 days, then you will not have proper control, you will not have any other thing to do, like in the sense, if you make any mistake while preparing the concrete, and if you're not getting a proper strength, and if you get to know about that defect after 28 days, so we cannot make any corrections. That's what's the problem. So that's why we'd like to have something, some test which can quickly give you an indication the likely strength of concrete after 7 days or 28 days. That's what we'd like to go for. Okay, that's what is this accelerated curing test will help us in doing it. So okay, accelerated curing test is basically done to ascertain strength of the concrete after 7 days or 28 days within 7 hours of manufacturing the concrete. The moment you prepare a concrete, within 7 hours of manufacturing concrete, you will be in a position to get a flavor of strength, what it will be like after 7 days or 28 days. That's what this test is all about. Okay. So let us see the procedure, how we do this accelerated curing test. So what we do is we initially prepare a standard cube. Usually the standard cube that we use is 150 mm by 150 mm by 150 mm. You prepare a cube, then those cubes are covered with all the plates and sides, all sides, and joints are also sealed so that nothing, all evaporation or nothing happens, nothing goes outside. Then within 30 minutes of adding water, the cubes have to be sealed completely. Then they are put in a airtight oven and then gradually increase the temperature to 93 degrees centigrade within an hour. That means from the time you add water to that within 30 minutes you prepare a cube. But then by the time you keep in the oven, from that time within an hour, we increase the temperature to 93 degrees centigrade and we maintain the same temperature for 5 hours in the oven. That means in the oven, the sealed cube is subjected to a temperature of 93 degrees centigrade. So after 5 hours, you take out the cube, okay, put in the room temperature, get it cooled, and then you put it in a CTM. We usually use compression testing mission. We call the CTM to test the compressive strength of concrete. So you take it out and let it get cooled down for 30 minutes. You allow it to get it cooled down for 30 minutes. After that, you do the testing. That means by the time you take out from the oven and the time you start the testing, the time should not be more than 30 minutes. The overall in the sense from the time you start mixing the ingredients to the time you start performing the test, the time should not be more than 7 hours. Within 7 hours, you start doing the testing. We'll cover completely how to do the compressive strength, how to do the compression test on concrete. But for now, understand that we use a cube. Then we put the cube on CTM, compression testing machine. You break the cube. Then you find out, you note down the load at which it fails. Then within the cross-sectional area, load by cross-sectional area will give you the compressive strength. So here all the same thing. Once you take out from the oven, you get it cool for 30 minutes, then perform the test. After performing the test, we get the strength after 7 hours because what we test is for the 7 hours. After 7 hours of manufacturing the concrete, we'll find out what the compressive strength is. That means now we have the value of compressive strength of concrete after 7 hours. Now there are standard graphs available to correlate strength of concrete after 7 hours versus strength of concrete after 7 days or 28 days. We use this graph. If you look at this graph on x-axis, what you have is accelerated strength. So this what is the strength we obtain by doing the accelerated curing test. We get the compressive strength after 7 hours. Example, say I know after 7 hours the value is 7 MPa. So I take this coin and see where this line touches the curve for 7 days. It touches approximately here. That means 14. That means my expected strength of the concrete after 7 days would be 14 MPa. Or else today, like example, when you do the accelerated curing test, our strength is 7. So likely strength of the concrete after 28 days will be 28. This is how we predict the strength at 7 days and 28 days. So once you know predicted strength, then I know, oh, what are the concrete that I've designed for? It's giving the reasonable strength. So accordingly, we design all our RC members, right? Reinforced concrete members. Okay, then we saw, okay, FCK value, whatever I was targeting for, okay, I'm likely to achieve the same strength. So that gives you kind of a confidence. That give a kind of indication, that kind of confidence that, okay, whatever the concrete that you designed, it's giving you the desired strength. That's what is the indication of this accelerated curing test. And example, otherwise, if you know 7 days strength, based on the equations, whatever we discussed in the previous class, we can use those equations to predict strength at 28 days. You can do that either. Okay. So it's about your accelerated curing test. Now let's move on to other important concept in the concrete technology. This is called maturity concept of concrete. So maturity concept in the sense, as you know that, right? Like when water is added to the cement, it gains strength. Or maybe when you prepare a concrete and you keep it for curing, so it gains strength with the age. The age passes, it continues to gain the strength. But then the main factor that contributes to strength are two things. One is, as I said, this one is the time. The more time that you cure, you get more strength. And one more parameter is also the temperature. The temperature, the room temperature, or maybe the temperature at which you're curing the specimen, you're curing the concrete. That also contributes to the strength. So we call this maturity. Maturity is defined as with some product of time to temperature. The time versus time and temperature and summation. This will give me what is known as maturity. So that's how we define maturity is nothing but the function of summation of the product time and temperature. So usually, right, it was found that concrete hydration continued to take place until a temperature of minus 11 degrees centigrade. That means if you prepare a concrete and keep it in a fridge or somewhere and maintain a temperature of minus 11 degrees centigrade, you still see the hydration taking place. That is the least temperature at which the hydration of concrete takes place. So now maturity is measured as, because it's a multiplication of time and temperature. Time example, say you're taking in terms of hours. Temperature is usually measured in degrees centigrade. So maturity units for maturity will be degrees centigrade times hours, or degrees centigrade times days if you're taking time in days. That's what the unit for maturity. Okay. So let's see let's take some experimental results, research results, how maturity impacts compressive strength. So let us see here the first diagram. It shows the age on x-axis and percentage of 28 days strength in the y-axis. That means after 28 days, it's achieving 100%. Okay, maybe different percentage of 100%. Example, say your strength is about say 100 MPa. It talks about 20 MPa, 40 MPa, 60 MPa likewise. And you are talking about three different mixes of concrete. We're taking water cement ratio. One mix proportion was 0.4, other was 0.6, other was 0.8. So now if you look at this, let me take the 28 days strength. After 28 days, all water cement ratios mixes are achieving the 28 days strength 100%, not a problem. But if you see a close look at 7 days strength, so if you have water cement ratio of 0.4, after 7 days, it's achieving 80% of the strength. Fine. So if you're increasing the water cement ratio to 0.6, let us see it's achieving hardly about 76, 77, 70% of 70, 75% of the strength. That's it. And if you go further, if you increase the water cement ratio further, then you see again further drop in the gain in the compressive strength. It is still lower than little 75 or 70%. That means the same thing is evident for 3 days strength. Let us see here. For 3 days strength, for 0.4 water cement ratio, it's getting a strength of about 55 or so. When it comes to water cement ratio of 0.6, so after 7 days, it's getting a strength of about 40%. Again, if you talk about water cement ratio of 0.8, again, there's a drop in the compressive strength. It's further down, less below the 40. That means interpretation is that the more water cement ratio, the less will be the gain in strength over the period of time. That means if you take 7 days strength, and if you're comparing 3 specimens of different water cement ratio, the more water cement ratio, the less will be the gain in strength. But however, 28 strength will remain be same after 28 days. So they're expected to reach the 28 days strength 100%. That's how it is. Okay. And one more graph here, it shows the relation between maturity. I've taken the units per degree centigrade hour versus compressive strength. You see here, it all shows a log scale. Actually, it's on the log scale, the maturity. And you see here, it's all has a linear relationship. That means there is a linear relationship between compressive strength and maturity on log scale. And log of maturity is directly proportional to compressive strength. Otherwise, compressive strength is directly proportional to log of maturity. That's what it is. Okay. So a lot of research was done, and it was found that usually maturity is defined as it is a concrete cured at 18 degrees for 28 days. This is what is taken as fully matured concrete. When I say fully matured concrete, what I'm saying is I've cured it for 28 days at a temperature of 18 degrees centigrade. That's what is called fully matured concrete. So if that is the case, then maturity is given as 28 days. I'm converting it to hours, 28 into 24 into, I'm converting the temperature difference. 18 degrees, I'm curing at 18 degrees, but the lowest temperature at which curing can happen is minus 11 degrees. So I'm finding out the difference between 18 minus of 11. So 18 plus 11 into this factor, it would give me 19,488 degrees centigrade hour. This is what is the actual maturity of concrete. But then it was found that hydration of the concrete is not exactly at minus 11 degrees centigrade, but it may be minus 11 point something, or 11.5, 11.4. So that's why this maturity of concrete is taken as 19,800 degree centigrade H. It's not exactly 19,488, but we take it as 19,800 degree H. This is how we take the maturity of the concrete as. But when you define, maturity is defined as a concrete cured at 18 degrees centigrade for 28 days. So when it is cured for 28 days at 18 degrees centigrade, then we call this, it is fully matured concrete. That's what we call this. Okay. Well, it's fully matured concrete. Okay, now let's talk about a mathematical expression. So we talked about everything in just concept wise, but if you want to put it in a numerical equation, so this will give me the maturity strength at any maturity. That means this equation will give me the percentage of maturity attained with the concrete. That is equal to, so this was a standard value for 100%. So what is the, how much percentage of the strength was achieved? A plus B log times 10 into maturity by 10 cube. So this was the required maturity. Example, say actual maturity is 19,800. Say you were talking about maturity of 5,000. For 5,000, how, if you use this equation, we'll find out how much percentage of compressive strength was attained by the concrete. That's what we get. Okay. So here A and B are known as Plowman's coefficients. So Plowman's coefficients are based on the grade of the concrete, in the sense 28 days strength of the concrete. So for based on 28 days strength of the concrete, we have the coefficient values A and B. So if it is less than 7.5, then your A value is taken as 10, B value is taken as 6 to 8. At least you got to remember 2-3 values, guys, 2-3 slabs, because in exam probably you may not get this, but we expect you to remember the values and use them appropriately in the exam if you get any question on this. Okay, so this is how we find out the percentage of strength attained with a concrete based on the maturity. Okay, so to get this concept clarified, let me explain you two numerical problems on this. So one question, let me read it out for you. The strength of a sample of a fully matured concrete is found to be 40 MPa. That's what when it is completely matured, it is 40 MPa. Now they're asking us to find the strength of identical concrete at the age of 7 days when cured at an average temperature during daytime at 20 degrees centigrade and nighttime 10 degrees centigrade. Look at the question, guys. So he's saying it is when it is fully matured, the concrete is expected to give you a strength of 40 MPa. So when I say it's fully matured, it's talking, it's subjected to 28 days strength, 28 days age and 18 degrees centigrade. But for our concrete, what we are doing is we're giving a age, we want to find out the strength at 7 days, but it's not continuously subjected to 18 degrees centigrade. Instead, it is subjected to 20 degrees centigrade in the daytime and 10 degrees centigrade during the night times. So if this is the case, after 7 days, we want to find out what is the expected strength of the concrete. Let us see how to proceed. First thing is I want to find out what is the maturity of the concept. So I'm using 7 days times 12 because I'm splitting into daytime and nighttime. These for the daytime, first parameter. Second part is for the nighttime. So daytime 7 times. So daytime is I'm taking half the day, 12 hours into, I'm finding the temperature difference. Temperature difference is 20 minus of minus 11. This is what for the daytime. Similarly for the nighttime, 7 days, half the day into temperature is 10 degrees minus of minus 11. So I add together, I get 4368 degrees centigrade hour. This one is the maturity of concrete. So I want to find out what is the compressive strength at this maturity. Okay. If you look at this, the expected strength of the concrete is 40 MPa. If it is a 40 MPa, so let me just go back to previous slide. So 40 MPa comes here, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4. So it comes under zone 3. So A value and B values are taken as 32 and 54 respectively. That's why I have taken A value and B value as 21 and 61. Okay, sorry. That's why I have taken zone 3. I have taken as 32 and 54 values. Okay. Now I know values. I know the equation. The percentage of strength of concrete. Percentage of strength of the concrete. What we get out of this equation is the percentage that is given by this equation. So I know A value 32 plus B times log 10. Then this was the maturity. Maturity is 4368 by 1000. When you simplify, I get 66.5. Its meaning is that, so when you have a maturity of 4368 degrees centigrade H value, then expected maturity is 66.5 percentage of the expected maturity. Expected maturity is 40. That means for when you cure it for 7 days, at a temperature of 20 degrees centigrade for the daytime and 10 degrees centigrade for the night time, then concrete is expected to achieve 66.5 percentage of 40 MPa. That's what it means. That means the strength at 7 days is So maximum maturity, I mean strength of the concrete at maturity is 40 times the percentage for the given maturity. The value is 26.5. That means if you cure the concrete for 7 days, subject to a temperature of 20 degrees centigrade in the daytime and 10 degrees centigrade in the night time, then expected strength of the concrete after 7 days would be 26.5 MPa. This is how we do the calculations. Similarly, let me walk you through another problem, numerical problem. It's slightly different. Let's see, a laboratory experiments conducted at Pune on a particular mix showed a strength of 32.5 MPa for a fully matured concrete. Find whether the formwork can be removed for an identical concrete placed at Srinagar at the age 15 days when the average temperature is 15 degrees centigrade. If the concrete is likely to be subject to a stripping stress of 25 MPa. Sorry, the question. So what he's saying is, so when concrete is fully matured, the expected strength is 32.5, and it is done at one place. But he wanted to find out what is the likely strength in the Srinagar. So when it is cured for 15 days at a temperature of 5 degrees centigrade, then we'll compare this with the stripping stress. So first thing is, always I want to find out what is the maturity of the concrete. So I'm curing it for 15 days. So I'm converting it to hours, 24 hours into difference in temperature. It's subjected to 5 degrees minus of minus 11. This will give me the maturity of the concrete. Now, if you look at the strength of the concrete, 32.5. So at 32.5 in the sense, it is 32 point, it comes under zone 2. So A value is 21, B value is 61. That's how we take it. Okay. So I take A1, A value as 21, B as 61. Then percent of strength is this. What is the equation? Substitute A value, B value. Maturity is 5760 by 1000. So we get 67.38. That means the concrete is likely to achieve a percentage of 67.38% as compared to the maximum strength. That means 67.38 by 100. This is what the percentage times fully matured concrete has a strength of 32.5. So you multiply with that, you get 21.9. That means the concrete after 15 days of curing at a temperature of 5 degrees centigrade will gain a strength of 21.9 MPa. Okay, but if you remove the formwork, that is likely to get stressed by 25 MPa. Try to get stressed up to get the stresses developed in the concrete would be 25 MPa. That means what concrete that strength that is that is gained is only 21.9. But if you remove the formwork, the stresses most likely to occur in the concrete are 25. That's why it's not suggested to remove the formwork. That's what I'm saying. The formwork cannot be removed because expected stresses are 25 MPa, but the gain strength by the concrete is only 21.9 MPa. So that's what the statement you are saying. In 15 days time, you cannot remove the formwork because the concrete will not be able to gain the required strength. Okay, this is how we do we'll find out the strength of the concrete at given maturity. One more extended concept is, okay, we'd like to find out how many days would it take for concrete to get matured completely under different temperature. If your curing temperature or hydration temperature is different from 18 degrees centigrade, then we'd like to find out how long it's going to take. If you want to calculate that way, so excuse me, this equation will give you the number of days taken by the concrete for complete maturity. So in the above example, if you say, so 19800 is the standard value for complete maturity divided by temperature to which the concrete was subjected to at 5 degrees centigrade minus 11, we get 52 days. So meaning is that, so this concrete, right? So in the Srinagar, when concrete is subjected to 5 degrees centigrade, and if you want concrete to attain a strength of 32.5 MPa, it will take 52 days to get gain so much of strength. That's what we are saying. Okay, so that can be calculated using this equation. This is all about maturity concept of equation, maturity concept of concrete, guys. Okay, so let me take you to another topic, very small topic. So here we're talking about strength in tension and compression of concrete. So basically, as I said, both are interrelated. So our basic purpose is always to find out strength of concrete in compression. Once you know the value, we'll be able to find out the strength of the concrete in tension also. So as I said, as we have been discussing that compressive strength of the concrete is one of the main parameters. If you remember your reinforced design of reinforced concrete structures, where we give more emphasis to FCK value as far as concrete is concerned. That means we talk more about compressive stresses. But tensile stresses are also equally important. Example, say you're talking about the slabs, or talking about the flexural pavement design, where we talk about the compressive stresses. You remember, guys, in reinforced concrete structures, we talk about tau c. Tau c is a permissible stresses in concrete. That's a permissible stress in tensile stress in concrete also. So we'll always find out whether compressive stress, tensile stress in the concrete are also within the limit or not. So that's where tensile stress of the concrete come into play. So there are different methods available. We'll be talking them in upcoming modules, how to determine the tensile stress of concrete and how tensile stress and compressive stress of concrete are related. Both are interrelated, but you can find out the values independently, or you can find out derive the values from one test. In the sense, you can find out compressive test, and you can find out what is the likely value of tensile strength of concrete. You can do that also. Okay. Now, let me walk you through what are the main factors impacting the strength of concrete. As we have seen some of them, let me list out again. As we have seen in the module 1 and module 2, so we can make out that the ratio of cement to water mixing water, that means water cement ratio is one of the factors that affect the strength of the concrete. Then ratio of cement to aggregate. The moment I say cement to aggregate, we're talking about gel space ratio as well. Talking about cement to gel space ratio. There's another factor that affects the strength of the concrete. Then especially various properties of the aggregates. Talk about various properties, the namely grading of the concrete. So whether it's well graded, poorly graded, the grade of the concrete. Then surface texture. What is the surface texture of the concrete? Then shape of the concrete, shape of the aggregates, as a surface texture of the aggregates. The shape of the aggregates, whether shape is cubical, flaky, or it's rounded, what to be the shape of the aggregate. Then strength of the parent rock, or maybe strength of the aggregates itself, the crushing value, what is the likely strength of the aggregate. That also determines the strength of the concrete. And stiffness of aggregate particles, that means modulus of elasticity of aggregate also has influence on determining the strength of the concrete. Then maximum size of aggregates. So as I said, we usually use 20 mm for normal construction works. 20 mm is the maximum size, but sometimes we may go up to 40 mm. So exceptionally, very rare cases, we go for 80 mm. That's very rare. But 40 mm, some case we go for huge works, but 20 mm is the usual normal construction works. We go for maximum size of aggregate. We limit to 20 mm. So that also has bearing on strength of the concrete. Then curing. What kind of curing? We have seen this relation between the curing and compressive strength in module 1. So when you do well compacted, we see the perfect inverse relation. And if you have improper curing, whether it's it's not cured properly, then probably will have very negative results on the compressive strength. Curing is important. Then use of pozzolanic materials. When we talk about pozzolanic materials, whether we are using pozzolanic materials such as fly ash, shale, kind of clay, different kind of clay material, or any other pozzolanic materials, if you're using, then that also has bearing on the strength of the concrete. So these are some of the factors that affect the strength of the concrete. Okay. So that's all I have for now, guys, from this module. So I'm unmuting all of you. So if any of you have any questions, anything, you're free to ask. So if any have any questions, you may raise hand. You can put it in the chat. I hope all of you are going through this reading material, this PPT, which I posted in our WhatsApp group. So go through it. If you get question, you're free to ask anytime, or just text me on WhatsApp, or you can email me to my email ID. So I'll respond as soon as I can. But what I suggest all of you is go through this, go through the video lecture, go through this PPT, go through the textbooks, try to cover all the topics, whatever I have covered in the lecture. So anyone has any questions, guys? So any questions? No question?
No, sir.
Okay. And yeah. No questions, guys? Okay, if you have no questions,
No, sir.
fine. I hope you enjoyed this lecture, and keep reading, guys. Go through the reading material, and go through the textbook also. Whenever you get any time, whenever you get any question, anything, feel free to text me, or if you need it, just call me. No problem. I can take your calls and try to explain you. Okay. Again, we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Again, we'll have a lecture.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for joining the class.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.